Welcome to Maker Conversations. I'm your host, Tiff Marchand from NIGHTCARVER Designs, and today on the show is Peter from Ptree's workshop. Peter is a 3D printer, a woodworker, and just a really genuinely nice dude. He is always trying to help people out and is always rooting for them. I have a special guest host, Lee from Regal Street Woodworks. Lee is, if you've ever seen his Friday videos, Lee's a talented woodworker, but also, a magician when it comes to having fun and recording some fun Friday videos. So check out Lee, check out Peter, and enjoy the show.
Well, welcome to the show. As you can see, we have a guest host. We got Lee here from Regal Street Woodshop. Look, I don't have to remember it because I can read it. I like that.
Line.
What's going on, Peter? How was your day?
Thanks so much for having me. Today was awesome. Today was just a good day. It's Emma's spring break for school because she teaches dance. So she's just home all day and we're kind of obsessed with each other. We're still in that honeymoon stage after 10 years. So, we like hanging out together. So she was home all day. We got to do some stuff together, work on our, businesses and side gigs together as well. And then both took a nap, which was amazing.
Oh, you got a nap too?
We got a nap in.
That's the perfect day.
Yes. How about you? How was your day? How was your weekend? Both of you guys.
My day was crazy busy. Just been really busy with multiple jobs at the moment, but it's coming together, launching different things. I was telling, I think Lee, you were in the room this morning on Clubhouse. I uploaded my first Saburrtooth podcast. So I'm super stoked because I'm a professional podcaster now. I did Behind a Maker and all that, but now I'm official professional, and I'm it feels good. So
if you're getting paid, it's a pro job.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah. So that's awesome. All good.
I'm glad that's working out too.
Yeah, it is. It's working out really well. Yeah.
Lee, what's up with you?
Staying busy. Finally got some nice weather. We had the doors open today and just enjoying. It was actually nice and warm in the sun.
It did snow yesterday.
It hailed this weekend.
He did the Massachusetts
sudden hailstorm.
It was really warm in the sun. You heard him? That's what we do when it's freezing out and the wind's hitting you. But if you're in the sun,
it's warm.
Pretty good day.
Tiff, I always forget. Where are you based out of?
I'm in Springfield. So Lee and I are an hour or so away from each other, I think.
You know about the weather.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And we may have a slightly different weather than each other, but generally you feel every season and every day. Yeah.
It's funny how depending on who you follow on Instagram, you get a weather forecast ahead of you. So if I'm getting crazy rain or snow, Lee knows he's 3 hours away.
It's coming. Yeah, it's coming soon. Yep. That's how we feel. For my day job, they're based in Michigan. So I'll hear their weather, whatever's going on. I'm I know it's coming my way. It's yep.
That's me with Adrian when she's oh, it's getting some crazy storm. Dang it.
Brace for it.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, we did a little bit of stalking on you to see when you first started, but I'm assuming you must have been tinkering a little bit before this. We went down to 2016.
Yeah, so I've been in some kind of making of some kind. I've always been into tools and fixing stuff up since I was a kid. My parents always brought me up with, I coming from Poland, literally grew up during while communism was wrapping up. So the whole mindset was pretty much you fix it because you're not going to get it or you can't afford it. So, you fix, don't buy. That was always my mentality. So I learned how to take stuff apart, break it and fix it. That's actually how I got into IT too, breaking computers and stuff. But I was always handy. I like tools. My dad was always trying to teach me how to use tools properly. And I started working construction in the summers and, I showed up at a job site with a nice shiny tool belt and a bag, and they had me digging ditches and tarring roofs. It was the worst. And
you were ready to do some actual construction work, not just be the grunt.
I just dug ditches and tarred roofs and did the two in the worst seasons possible. I was digging holes when the ground was frozen, and I was tarring roofs in the summer. It was terrible. Or just grunt work. They just had me hauling stuff and picking stuff up. But I learned how to use tools, how to be safe and not stupid, how to stay out of people's ways, and figure it out myself, because that's basically what everyone told you back then. And we bought a house back in, not this house, the previous house, back in 2013. Yeah, 2013. And finally had a spot for my shop. And actually my tools were in storage for about 2 years in our basement.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't really use them. And if I wanted to use them, I had to haul them up to the second floor in a walk up. It was a 3-family house. Second floor, move them to the porch, do all the cutting stuff there, and then bring it back down to the basement when I was finished with the project.
No.
It was a nightmare. And it was one of those, like, any miter saw is super heavy.
Yeah.
So that's a pain in the butt. And
were you
then
renting like a condo at the time or something?
It was just like a 3-family house. So we had the entire second floor.
Okay.
And I had the contractor DeWalt saw for like ever. And before that, I had a kind of a shop, but it was in my ex's parents' garage. We're working out of there.
That doesn't work anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really work. We had a falling out, you could say. And my lease was up. Let's just put it that way. But so Steven.
He just shifts the camera to the side.
Like, nope, doesn't exist.
Jeez.
But then we moved into our house, and I started taking over the shop slowly. At first I had a corner, and then I started moving further and further away. At the end of the 7 years there, the entire garage was mine. So it was nice. So that's when I started making more content around it, and posting on my Instagram, my personal one. I think a lot of us did the same thing. You post on your personal one, then you annoy enough family. You're like, you know what? I'm just gonna do a separate one. And then within like not even a year, I shifted my entire like online life to that Instagram. I don't think I even use my personal one anymore.
I don't,
because it's such a much more pure experience when you really niche down and you're not forced to follow friends and family, because that's kind of the vibe of a personal Instagram or Facebook. That's why I think TikTok's so popular, because like you don't have to follow friends and family.
No.
You follow what you like. And Instagram's the same way, but a lot of us just follow friends and family. And unfortunately, you can have, stuff you don't want to see. But yeah, that's long story short.
We'll just cut that section out. He loves his family and he wants to see them all the time.
I love them. I love it. Family.
I know
the important thing about families, I love them. I don't like them.
Yeah.
You gotta love family.
I don't follow.
You don't have to like them.
Pretty much anyone that I know from on Night Carver. It's very freeing. Yes.
It's very freeing.
Yeah. Yep. No, I agree. I don't. My personal one that I don't use, that's all friends and family. Absolutely. No, I totally get what you're saying. I just want to mess with you.
No, I know. But I always say that, like, I love family. I don't have to like them. They're family.
Exactly. They're going to be part of your life if you follow
They're
them or not. Yeah.
Thick or thin.
When did you meet Emma?
I met Emma through my dentist. True story. Yeah. Back in 2012. I guess, because we're going to be hitting 10 years this year. My dentist was just someone that I used to lifeguard at. I used to lifeguard at their pool, their community pool.
Okay.
And they were nice. I taught their kids how to swim, known them for years. They became my dentist because I had a practice and I needed a dentist at the time. And she knew some of Emma's family, and they were like out to dinner at the Short Hills Mall in Jersey. And I was working at Apple back then at the retail location there. And my dentist is like, no BS. She's like, hey, I have a girl you need to meet. I was like, whatever, I'm single right now. This is when my lease expired, let's say. So I was single at the time, and I'm like, hey, I'm down, whatever. So she brought her over, introduced her like right in the store at the Genius Bar. We chatted for a second, and then the rest is history.
I mean, how could you not fall in love with her? She's adorable.
Of course. Ironically, she'll kill me for telling the story. Like the first 6 months, I was basically trying to get out of the relationship because I was like, no, I'm a single, cool, independent guy now. Like, I just finally got freed. I'm not going to get locked down. And so we just bought a house.
I saw that with a double garage. Ooh.
My God, it's so nice.
And it's like a raised roof too.
So it's
your doors magically moving behind you.
Yeah. It's like 10-ish foot ceilings. So I can swing like a full 4x8 sheet of plywood like on its corner. I could like swing it over if I'm trying to tip it over.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about like jabbing into the
I
ceiling.
don't hit the ceiling or anything.
Yeah.
I've actually installed some stuff in because I have access to the attic. I've put I see the lasers behind you. So like my fume extraction and my compressor are in my attic.
Gotcha.
So I don't hear them like at all. It's just like a hum
Oh, that's
sound.
nice. Yeah.
So nice.
I haven't
since
hooked
did
this
that.
up at all yet. I was just telling Lee he should come over and hang out and hook up my laser with me.
Yes.
I'm like, it'd
That's
be
how you
nice to
get
have a
stuff done.
buddy.
That's 100% how you get stuff done. I mean, look at
Yep.
Daniel Dunlap. He just got the spindle installed, and it was fine. What it took is someone in the community is being like, "Hey, I'll help you out," and they came over,
Yeah,
helped him out.
yeah.
You just need someone to like motivate you to do it.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
I had it easy because Mike and Dan flew out to me for Maker Camp. That's
Oh,
actually
yeah.
when we all met
Yeah,
the first
yep.
time. So when they were out here, so we just wired mine up, and it was great. So sometimes you need that little nudge of community.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, I know I can do it. It's just so much more fun if someone's with me.
Yeah, so it's fun. That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's boring. And you got to
That's
shoot
what's
your
so
own
great
content
about
while
this
you do it.
community.
Yeah.
You can just reach out and you got 5 people willing to help.
I mean, Lee helped me with all my electrical. I had to bribe him with a place to stay and some good food, and that was
Well,
it.
that's what he said. And then I offered to
He
cook a nice
delivered.
meal. That's when my
Yep,
pitch came in.
He's a big fan of ribs, so they're like,
yeah.
Oh, my
Well,
husband
you want him to
loves
come over?
ribs. Yeah.
there you go.
See, now I know. So you've always been techie then. Like if you worked at Apple and everything too. So like that's just
Yeah,
really been
so-
part of your life.
I worked at Apple. I worked in like PC IT of some kind, or always supported people since I was like 13, 14 years old.
Mhm.
So I've just always been in it. I mean, I'm sitting in front of 4 screens right now and like a full like light setup, cameras, everything. Like I'm a nerdy guy. I've always liked techie things. That's why I like tools too, because there's so many cool features to tools and figuring out different ways to use them and whatnot. So just, made sense, especially with 3D printing, lasers, CNC, all that. Like it's combining the 2 things that I love into one.
Yeah.
So
How
I
many
was
do
going
you
to say a lot
have?
of the
Yeah.
things you do are half techie and half tool.
exactly.
The
Yeah, I love.
CNC and the 3D
But I
printing.
love my employees. I just have to direct them, and then they just work on their own. It's the best. No vacation days, no nothing.
They're
You
constantly
got some
running
more
too,
on the
I
way?
bet.
What was that?
Oh,
You
sorry.
got more on the way?
Yes. So yeah, they're so now I'm getting to that point where for a while I was running my 3D printers almost nonstop because I was just not keeping up with the orders, especially around the holidays. That's always when it hits me, and I order more, and they don't come until January after the rush.
Yeah.
Now I have enough to where like I can print a bunch for like 3-4 days and then take like a week off from printing,
Oh,
and
that's
occasionally
nice.
just like fulfill some stuff that I don't have in stock. But now I'm getting, so I have 4 printers. I just bought a 5th one. It's an Ender. It's a different model. All my printers are Prusas, which are from the Czech Republic. And I actually just ordered 3 more. So 2 more of the Mark IIIs and a mini. And I still have my Prusa XL on order that was released last year, but it won't be available till like the summer. So this thing's going to
Oh,
be a
wow.
monster, and they're super
Jeez.
expensive. So I'm going to go this year. I will probably have 9 to 10 printers by the end of the year.
That's fantastic.
Just
But you
kind
have
of
the need
bonkers.
for it though, right? You're doing
I do,
well with
yeah.
Etsy and stuff.
So like right now with the 4 printers I have, I could sustain. I could absolutely sustain,
Mhm.
but I can't grow. And I'm also, I'm tied at the hip to that print shop. Like I have to
Yeah.
be down there constantly swapping stuff out, getting stuff shipped out. Having more machines is buying time back to me, and it's all paid for by the machine. The printers literally paid for most of my, for all the 3D printers, most of my woodworking equipment. It's been nice because I accidentally pivoted my business from woodworking to making, It
Yeah.
was a happy little accident. You never know what's going to take off. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy with it. That's something I really want. I want to get into more small scale manufacturing stuff because it's good money, and you can, batch out a lot of stuff, but also make cool stuff and solve problems. Building furniture and things like that is awesome. I love building furniture. I haven't had as much time or like kind of desire to build it lately, but I love solving problems and selling solutions to people, because that you can make so many people happy with that for not a lot of money. It's a very low cost of entry for smiles. That's the way I look at it.
That's fantastic. What's the best problem you solved so far, you think?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I'd say the battery and tool holders, it's not even a new concept, but like I've sold so many of them.
Yeah.
There are thousands of them out there at this point.
Awesome,
and
dude.
That's awesome.
I've helped people organize their shops in some way. That makes me happy. That makes me feel very good about what I do, because I have a problem about, like, I can't print junk. like you can print very cool, fun stuff like toys, figurines, whatever, on printers. I just have trouble printing stuff that I'll go like, oh, that's awesome. And then it just sits there and I never touch
collect
it.
Stuff. Yep.
Yeah, it's super cool and I love it. But like, I'm a visual person. I could just see it and like, wow, that's awesome. I don't need to make it. What I love making is stuff that's going to like solve a problem for me or make something I'm going to use all the time or whatever. Like that just makes my day. So knowing that I can help organize people's shops a little bit. And we're all guilty of this. We're all guilty of like having disorganized shops or not having a place to like, drills, drivers, whatever, I still haven't built like a proper charging station, ironically. So I just put up my battery holders and threw that up there and like, okay, cool. Like this actually solves a problem.
Yeah.
Even though I want to go above and beyond, for now, it's great.
Yeah.
So
I just organized, thank goodness. Cause I was that person.
If you need help, let me know.
I know, right?
I got you.
But like I had drills everywhere and things like everywhere. Like my supplies there's some in that basket. Oh, I know I put that over here. And so now it's all on the wall and I'm like elated, like honestly.
I've been watching you like get everything set up. It's so nice because when you don't have to throw as much out because you have it organized and you can keep it for when you need it. People say like, oh, you got to throw out junk you don't need. Like, no, you might need this, especially if you're a maker or an artist.
Right.
You're gonna need it. You're gonna find it.
I saved a ton of stuff. I only got rid of things that like were gross by now. I've saved it for too long and it is no longer of value. Like I have these drawing inks that I absolutely loved, but you could just see they had like dried and caked around the containers. I was like, oh,
when it separates and you can see it.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, no. It was like, I should have done a video of like Boys to Men. It's so hard to let go or something, but it was. To say goodbye.
Like when you buy a finish and then like you forget about it.
Yes.
And then you find it like a year later, like, oh, there goes the other 7/8 of this giant can of polyurethane. Cool.
You do the shake.
You buy another one and then you go to put it away and there's a full one that's gone bad.
I just did that with the gallon of glue. Like, oh, that's because I went to put it on a shelf. I'm like, oh, there's no room. Where would I put overflow glue? Oh, down here. Dang it, Bobby.
Yep. Guilty again of things that we do as makers. Not have a proper supply list written down or something.
It'll come in handy eventually.
Yeah, it will.
I need clear cabinet doors so I can actually see what's in them.
Don't get dusty.
And then you can actually see what's in there too. It's not that good of a thing.
I want to see, but I don't want to see.
Yeah.
The nice thing about that though is like if you're successful in a craft you do, a hobby you have, you're probably fortunate enough to make some money with it and be okay. You're not actually drowning. And there's hobbies that people just like dump money into and don't get anything back, which is also fine. But like all of us make money with our hobbies. So like when we overbuy supplies or anything, a lot of times when we have somebody over, we'll be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, you got to try this finish. You know what? Keep it. I haven't used it in a while. You're going to use it. You're going to use it now. I wouldn't for a couple of months. It's going to go bad. Go for it. So it's a nice way to like just pass it along to the community. I do it all the time.
I sold my CNC and when they came to pick it up, I gave them everything plus a few bits to try and a little bit of this. Like was giving them like bits I had used before. Just I'm like, hey, there's still life to them. There's still life to them. I'm like,
give them a second home.
Yeah, well, because you want someone to be able to like take that machine home and throw carve on it right away. And like you can't just go into the store and get some of these tools that we use. You have to special order them. So. Yeah.
When Lee knows, because I paid him for the electrical work with my CNC.
Yeah. See, it's perfect.
Like now I have a home.
Yeah.
And a lesson. Yeah. But like Lee is killing it now on a CNC. He's doing great. So
getting there.
But you are. I mean, you're way above where you were a couple months ago.
Oh, absolutely.
To give that machine a second home and one of my peers the knowledge that they need to make something awesome. And like him and Danielle are way more creative than I am. Emma's very creative. I'm not. I think in straight lines and right corners or right, whatever, angles.
No, that makes sense. You're into organizing. We were mentioning, Lee actually pointed out when we were stalking earlier that you kind of came out and one of the first couple of posts, it was about organizing your shop. Like it's been something that's been with you for a very long time.
You guys were real deep. Oh my.
Oh, you were hot gluing the screw that was in the drawer to the face of the drawer.
No,
genius.
I still use those drawers, but they're in my print shop now. But I still like will occasionally in a box find a screw with a dap of glue on it with one flat side. And I was like, oh man, this brings me back.
That was my display screw.
That was my display screw. The chosen one, or the bent one, or the stripped one.
Right. So you're finding more passion right now with the 3D printing, you think, because of the whole solving problem thing, or?
I am. And, you know, this is a very weird topic for me because I'm trying to find a way to do less. And I have a lot of, perhaps you guys can help me with this. I have a lot of difficulty with describing or defining what I'm trying to do because I'm trying to make it not sound like I'm lazy, but I'm basically trying to do the same amount of output or make the same amount of money or whatever with doing the same amount or less of work. It's not a laziness thing. I will, if I have
it's an efficiency thing.
I have 18 hours in a day to fill, I will fill them.
Yeah.
But I want to be more efficient. And I think I like 3D printing and all that because it's printing money in a way, you know, it's printing money, just like a CNC or laser, same thing. You're printing, cutting money with very minimal input from you, or usually very minimal input. Sometimes just a little bit of cleanup, sometimes a little bit of assembly.
Yeah.
But like with 3D printing, especially, a lot of these things I print and they're ready for packaging. So
that's awesome. Yeah.
It allows me to do the same amount of income, if not more. It's constantly growing. Thank goodness. Knock on wood. Hopefully it'll stay that way. And it's allowing me to step away from doing commission jobs to try to pay like basically subsidize my hobby and all the other stuff we want to do and all the cool projects we want to do, and being able to buy cool supplies to mess around with. And it's allowing me to just like now have fun. So now we're actually like trying to do fun projects and like planning out some stuff for the summer where like Emma's going to be available a lot more. She's, as you guys know, always been very involved in my shop. You know, she's always in the background, always next to me. You know, she's not woodworking or 3D printing. It's Peter and Emma. You know,
she's
I was wanted
life.
that to be exactly. And she's a huge part. She was at Workbench Con, Maker Camp, all those. And she loves it too, because I mean, the people in the community are awesome. So everyone just gets along. So I'm leaning more towards the 3D printing and laser stuff. And I'm actually trying to incorporate that more into my content. And I'm seeing very stagnant growth right now. And I think it's because I'm pivoting. And it's
I'm in
not
the
so much
same
woodworking.
freaking boat as you right now. Yeah. I mean,
It's
look
so
at my
hard.
pivot. I was carving and painting every week. And now I'm like, I'm DIYing a room right now. I'm doing work. Like, cause like I am in a transition period of life. So it is a weird phase.
Yeah, it's hard to be also not rewarded for the work you put in. If you're putting in the same amount of work, or now that we've gotten better at the craft of being content creators, to grow even less per post or whatever, it hurts.
It does.
It really hurts. I've been at 20. I think I went to 24K or whatever, like back in like August, and I'm at like 25 or so, whatever. It's like basically I've grown 1,000 in 6 months. That's embarrassing. I've had months where I've grown 1,000. You know, but like I'm not posting every single day or whatever, but like I'm posting, I'm doing stories every day. I'm posting, I'm being active in the community, and I'm not seeing the growth. So like, all right, it's either I'm pivoting, Instagram has changed, which we know has changed a little bit. Or just my content's not that good, which whatever, maybe it's just not good for the audience that I already have. So it's a little tough right now. You know, we're trying to keep pushing through it. And I am trying to get a little more loosey-goosey with like, you know what? No, this is what I do. I do 3D printing and this and that. And
I do
tech
want
and
to
IT.
say too, though, it's also the weather is getting nicer. So people are off their phones more. We have to think about that too, because that's an outer force that is something that we can't predict. Like once the weather gets nice, people aren't on their phone all day. They're like, I was out playing basketball with my kids. Normally we'd be watching TV and I'd probably be on the phone or something, you know, like people are putting
like the
phone
last
down
2
more.
years, everybody's been stuck at home on their phones and computers.
Remember the first time they like lifted the lockdown, like last year around this time?
Nobody was on Instagram anymore.
Our podcast numbers dipped too.
Mine
like,
too.
really
Yes.
It was like a visible dip. We're like, what happened? Like, oh yeah, they like unlocked the US.
Yep. And that's things we'll have to get used to, because people will come back to the media they were consuming. But when things are changing, when COVID is lifting and when weather is getting nicer, we're just off our phones more. And that's what I've been trying to tell myself too, is like, remember, you're in transition, but also everyone is. We're all coming out of COVID. probably going back into COVID soon enough. But like we're in a light, like, wee, there's people. Let's go have
Enjoy the
fun
wave.
stage. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Let's enjoy it before we get locked down again.
Exactly.
So there's outer things too.
Yeah, but no, like you're absolutely right. And I think one thing that I've been enjoying now, I don't know if it's helping me grow in any way, but that's actually hyper focusing on a part of the business and growing it to be as automated and as hands off as possible. So like I've been tweaking my Etsy listings, trying to figure that stuff out, plan some digital files and whatnot. And it's not like it's baby steps. I'm constantly doing baby steps because I'm the kind of person that like, I need to have everything planned out. I need to have 100% of it planned out in my head before I start. And that cripples me. So
Yeah.
I need to then take baby steps, take a little chunk of it. Like today I'm going to finish this digital file. I'm not going to upload it, anything. I'm not going to make a massive list of to-dos. I'm just going to do a little thing. So I've been doing a lot of baby steps and I've been talking about doing administrative over like the last month. And it's all these little things that are helping me actually step away from my 3D printing business for longer periods of time while it's still performing at the same level, because I want to now pivot back to the shop and focus on the laser and CNC.
Yeah.
My CNC hasn't run in like a month and a half. It's kind of embarrassing, but you know, it now that that's good, then I can focus on something else. And then once I have some files and things automated for that, and I have processes in place for, let's say, cutting up some templates and whatnot, that I've been cutting templates for years and I just don't have any of them listed. So once those are done, I can focus on a laser and kind of keep doing things to grow my business incrementally and also have content around it. But it's constant pivoting.
While working a full-time job.
While working a full-time job. There's that too.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, exactly. It's very valuable time. Like we all have jobs. We all have to focus on that. And then we still want to put our energy to something else that's going to better us. And it's where we enjoy ourselves. So it is a hard balance, like trying to find the time to fit it all in.
And I feel like the whole concept of going full time is almost like a dirty term to me, because people always ask me like, so are you going to be like going full-time woodworking or full-time going to full-time, meaning like what? Full-time what? I want to step away from my job and replace my income full-time. I don't want to be a full-time furniture maker. As much as I like doing that, I don't want to have to deal with that. I want my money to work for me in a way. I want my business to work for me. If I'm building furniture, I'm the business. I'm working for my business.
Yep.
And I respect everyone that does it. That's amazing. That's incredible. I look up to a lot of those people, but like, I'm trying to pivot in a different way. I want to spend more time with cool people like you guys, being able to create content, hang out, encourage people, get encouraged, find mentors, be a mentor, all that, as opposed to be stuck in my shop all day.
That makes sense. Lee, did you mention something about, and feel free to answer this, you teached too sometime in your life?
Yeah. Yes,
The
actually.
Makerspace, right?
Yeah, so I taught at a woodworking school for about two and a half years. And before that, I've done some little like workshops with friends and family, but I used to teach a intro to furniture making class, cutting board class, milling class, certifications. Because, you know, with those maker places, a lot of them you have to like, even if you're seasoned, you have to like take a class to like make sure you're good.
Right. Yeah. Safety course and everything. And I used to see how you react to the tools. You know what you're actually doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because there's some people that would be a little sketchy with it, you know. And then I taught like on certain Saturdays would be these like kind of massive classes of just like DIYers. It was like construction grade pine, you know, glue, nail gun, sander, stain, like no pre-stain, just stain. And it was like, it was fun. You know, people were having fun with it, and that's all that mattered. Yeah. Real woodworkers would have been like, but there's people that took that class and then took the next class and then took the next class and like
just kept growing.
Some of them even started teaching at the school there. The school, unfortunately, actually was part of because it was a massive old warehouse in Hoboken, New Jersey, and there was a fire and it took out most of the building between the water damage and the smoke damage. So they unfortunately got shut down. But you know, I don't want to speak ill in any way, but the one of the reasons I left was the equipment was coming to a state of disrepair, and the maintenance was lacking, and help was being offered by myself and other employees there, but it was not taken up.
Right. So not reinvesting into their business. That sadly, the tools were falling apart.
Yeah. And it was not safe when you had people like, having to like shove a piece of wood through the saw because they got too thin of a curved blade and they're using a standard riving knife type stuff, or the blade is super dull so it's burning all the pieces and we have to sand way more. It was like little things like that, and I was like, this is just not safe. I don't feel good about this kind of teaching.
Yeah.
So but I still love teaching. It's great.
No, but you can tell like you're always trying to mentor people. Saying like one of the first times I was really introduced to talking to you was on Clubhouse, because I don't think we talked before that. Like I knew
No, that's
of you.
when we met.
Yeah. I say
we knew of each other,
you.
but
yeah,
that's how we met.
exactly. And like we always were just sharing tips with each other. You and then Emma would come on, and we'd all have like, it was really nice to like meet you. I'm like, oh my god, this guy is so awesome. Like I didn't know. And like, not to brag about you, but no, but seriously, I love that about you. I think it's a great feature that you're always just like, and I think Lee said it too. You're always like championing behind people, always rooting for them to win. It's cool.
And a part of it is because I have a hard time with people around me succeeding. I think a lot of us do. When you see a friend of yours or colleague or coworker like kill it with something that you do as well, or you think you could do better, it could be challenging. And it's something that I've always had trouble with. I'd be like, oh, like, this person starts making 3D printing stuff. And like, well, like he's got all these sales and whatever. Like, I'm like, why am I getting mad? Like, it doesn't hurt me in any way. Like, that's one example. Like I've definitely gotten over that over the last couple of years, but I find the best way for me to do something about it is to just actively, audibly make it known to myself and everyone else around me. Like, that is awesome. Like I just taught an Etsy class yesterday to people that some of them sell the exact same stuff I sell. Yeah. And like, I was telling them like, yes, do that, do this, you're not going to take food away from my family or whatever. I'm not going to starve because you're selling this item. Right. It's fine. I hope you sell so much that you have to rethink your whole life and grow your business. That's the goal, so I have to act. And again, it's not like I'm just like always like jealous of people, but it's just like good for me. It's like a little exercise I do. Like I celebrate the little things around me. When I see someone do good or do well, or somebody's post blow up, my first reaction now is like, F yeah, like heck yeah, this is awesome. Instead of being like, oh, man, what my post? Because like, why are you gonna be down in the dumps over someone else's success? You're either celebrating with them or you're getting left behind. Might as well champion them, might as well help them out, might as well motivate them. And sometimes people just need a nudge, like, to come over and help you organize a wall of stuff or hook up a laser.
We'll get Lee over here, don't worry.
Or some ribs.
Yeah. We'll pay with food.
And smiles.
Smiles.
Don't forget the smiles.
You mentioned Carlina and Pat earlier. Like we had them over. We invited them.
I saw that
Workbench Con because we had to drive up. We were driving up and they were flying. So we had a bunch of like total boat, which you can't fly with. Right. So we drove it up and invited them up to just hang out with us. We hung out all day. They live like 2 hours away and they left at like 11:30 at night. And we were basically, it was just us like mutually screaming at each other. And like me screaming at like how they should like grow and pivot their business and what they need to focus on and what's making money. And they're like yelling at me and I'm like, you got to be consistent. You got to keep posting, like have more fun with it. So like we were definitely helping each other out because everyone's got their own strengths and weaknesses. And it's good to get another perspective and also be open to it.
They've been really killing it with their content lately too.
They are.
So that's great.
They're absolutely killing it.
To keep going, keep posting.
I was screaming at Carlina like, you should be charging double. What are you doing? This is this for this much? No, more. And I would like text her for the next week, like happy price raising day or whatever. Because I told her like within a week, raise your prices.
I love that. That's so great. They when they were on, like I had them on the show and stuff, and he was essentially yelling at her that she needs to pull out her phone more because she doesn't record enough of what they do. So I thought it was cute too, because they were doing the same thing. Because we were asked like, what is the one thing that bothers you about the other person?
Ooh, that's a loaded question.
It is, but it was interesting because it was like, because she doesn't film what she does enough. He's like, I love what she does. She doesn't film it enough. That was cute.
Yeah, for me, it's I try to film everything and then I forget to edit it. I'll go through my phone sometimes to like find an old photo and I go like, oh my God, I shot like 30 photos and a bunch of video for this one thing I never posted. So
Or yeah,
consistency.
we're posting about it enough. That's another hard thing.
And sometimes you feel like you're posting too much. Like I have a dust
Mhm.
collector in my shop right now. I'm super excited, but I feel like I'm just posting that for the last 3 days. But and then I'm like, yeah, screw it. I'm gonna have fun with it.
I was talking to Lee about that before we came on. I said it reminds me of like Darth helmet. Like I'm just thinking, I was like, you need some little logos on there and stuff because it's just so badass. Like it's just giant, intimidating looking thing. Like
Everyone keeps saying it's like like Darth Vader or something.
yeah, oh yeah,
Or a spaceship for the
It's
cat.
such a tactical looking machine.
It
yes.
is.
Yeah.
But it functions so well. Like I did so much research, and color was like a pro in it, the color and the look and whatnot.
Mhm.
But just like everything is so packed, like compacted in there.
Mhm.
There isn't like two separate things that are completely separate. And most dust collectors, you'll have this like wide base with the 2 bags or whatever, and then the hose comes out the front or the side, however you look at it.
Mhm.
It's like so inconvenient. So
Yeah.
this one being able to like run straight, because then I can run piping all along the wall and stuff. So these little things that were like, okay, this
It sells,
checkbox.
yeah.
I was looking at like Oneidas and other ones, but you do your research, you ask enough people, and I like Laguna. I've been working with them for a while. So I was like, hey, when is this in stock? Because I want it. So I like basically put my name down to buy one like back in September, and in January they're like, hey, they're in stock. I'm like, take my money.
Nah. That's cool though. And yeah, I did the same thing when I was buying this laser. I asked everybody, so what's the pros and cons of your machine?
Yeah.
How's the customer service? I was like that annoying person for like 2 months straight. I think I talked about it on Clubhouse every day.
You need to pull the community, because you're
Yeah.
also not always going to get honest answers. If you
Yeah.
ask me, I will give you very honest answers off stories. In stories,
Yeah.
I have a rule of I will say nothing but nice things or nothing at all. And I tell this to brands when I work with them. I say, like,
Yeah.
just so you know, I will take your product. If it's doesn't work for me, I just will not say anything.
Yeah.
You will not hear a single story, and I'll be happy to send it back to you. Just send me postage, whatever. Like, I'll send it back to you, but if someone asks me like, hey, what do you think of this or this? I tell them straight up, whether it's,
Yeah.
Laguna, Onefinity, whatever, any of the stuff that I've gotten for free or paid full price or whatever. I'll give you the honest pros and cons,
Mhm.
but I have a fairly positive outlook on stuff. Like, I don't see little things being off as like a deal breaker. Some people will lose their mind over like a little thing being wrong. Like, always have to doing this or doing that. I'm like, well, that's kind of the quirk of the machine. It vibrates a lot. And like, that's part of the thing. You have to tighten screws, whatever.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of my ex car with that. I'm like,
That's one, like, with the Shapeoko, having to like
Yep.
occasionally tighten the belts and whatnot. Like, but it's just
Mhm.
maintenance. The same thing with
Yeah.
like getting the Prusas versus like the Ender, the 3D printers. The Enders, I just bought one for $100. My Prusas were $750 as a kit, meaning they just shipped me screws and rails and
You
everything.
gotta
I have to assemble everything yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like it's 10 times the cost, because fully assembled is 1,000. Like 10 times the cost, you're getting 10 times the value. I do zero maintenance on those things.
Oh, that's cool.
It's basically a saw stop of printers.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Or
I've
Festool.
heard the name. Yeah. It's so funny because I was telling Lee the same thing. Is like as we were getting higher up your page, I'm like, oh, the fancy tools are making their way in.
You could see the progression.
Yes.
That's
the
something that
growth.
some of my, I guess, newer followers don't really know is I used to restore tools, a lot of tools. Like
Oh,
all of
really?
my tools initially were either ones I bought, like, the True Blue Ryobi old school ones. That
Yeah,
was my first
That's
like
still my
miter saw.
jigsaw, man.
Yeah, I had the full like, the homeowner special kit where it comes like
Mhm.
with like 6 of the things, and one of them's a flashlight, because I don't know why, with an actual bulb, not even LEDs. Good old school stuff,
Yeah.
So I started with that and my DeWalt table saw, the little contractor table saw, and every other tool that I got after that, every dust collector, circular saws, my track saw was secondhand, my first one, my joiner, everything. All these tools were bought, most of them completely brown and orange from the rust.
Mhm.
Some wouldn't even start up. In most cases, I wanted to at least have the motor turn over. And all of those tools are now in our community here locally. And I know where all of them are because I sold them back to the people I know.
That's
So
awesome. Yeah.
it was great because like it helped me get started. And now I'm able to afford better tools, and dang right, I'm gonna do it.
That's how all mine are. I got them at like Marketplace and stuff like that.
Yes.
You know, I even
Yeah,
got a couple free because I told them my story of what I was doing, and they're like, "Just take it." I'm like, "Thank you."
I've had people throw stuff in before.
Yeah.
And it's so nice. You know, a lot
Yeah.
of times I would go in and I'd get lucky a couple times, and somebody was like, someone passed away or they're moving on from the hobby, and they're like selling everything, and I'd be like, this much for everything. They'd be like, yeah, well, go ahead. You know,
Yeah.
oh, awesome, cool.
You're doing them a favor.
Exactly. The guy that I bought my Powermatic table saw from, the PM2000, it's like the big cabinet saw that, like, I mean, it's kind of like the Cadillac of cars, as they call it.
Yeah.
You know, for a while before saw stopped. I got it for $600 because the guy was just moving to Virginia and he couldn't bring it. His back was bad and he just didn't want to deal with it.
Inconvenience. Yeah. You basically gave him money to take a problem off his
I
hands.
helped him to take that, and I bought a bunch of the lumber he had there. So I got a bunch of cherry and
Nice.
stuff for like chump change. And he's like, hey, you're helping me out. You're getting all this stuff out of my house. I'm like, awesome. I put in 220 in my old shop just for that saw. And that was the beginning of the end.
Worth it. Yeah. Yeah. Because now you can have bigger things.
Yes. Now I have 220 everywhere. I'm super happy about it.
Oh, that's right. Because is that what you did, Lee, when you went over? Yeah.
Lee hooked it up, and he taught me a lot about, you know, I knew a little bit of electrical. I've done electrical before, but he taught me all the stuff that I really needed to know, all the safety stuff, all the how to save time and whatnot. And like now I have to probably have to add a 220 outlet for that, the dust collector when I convert it to, because it's 110 right now, converting it to 220. And I know exactly what to do because I got Lee, you know, he's helped me out.
That's awesome.
Appreciate you.
We help each other out. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny. I like hit up Danielle all the time, Lee's wife. Like I'll just call her instead of Lee because I know Lee's probably doing something, whatever. I'll just call you Danielle and just
I'll walk in the
something.
house. She'll be like, Pete says hi. I'm like, oh, why is he calling you?
Like yelling at her about Etsy or asking her a question about some like vinyl that I need
she's
to
so
use.
funny.
She's great. She's such a riot.
Yeah.
Having them over was just such a blast.
Love it. You guys get around, Lee.
Yeah. We made some awesome friends in the community.
I love it.
I mean, that's the best part about this community. Like 20 years ago, meeting somebody on the internet was creepy. Now
I know.
Some of my all of my closest friends are online, and some of them I have never met yet.
Yeah.
And some of them don't even live on this continent. That's the crazy thing. And I know more about them than I know about some of my family members. Bonkers.
Nope. Agreed.
Like I can call Lee one of my best friends, you know, like we talk all the time. I talk to Danielle all the time. We support each other. And that's the best part about this community. But the thing is, if you don't put that into the community, you're not going to get it back. No, you have to be active in some way.
For sure.
So, and sometimes it's hard, obviously, you know, we all get busy and stuff. That's why I try to take these friendships off of Instagram as quickly as possible. If I can, you know, try to like share my number or get their number or whatever if I need help.
Which is super smart because none of us have each other's numbers. Like I have yours now because of that. You do that. You're right. You do take it off of Instagram pretty quick.
It's also like
it's smart.
A lot of messages on Instagram. So many messages, so many people talking, and it's easy to like lose track of stuff. Like Lee will send me stuff sometimes, and I'll like it 3 days later. He knows.
So if I know something's time sensitive, I'll just text him.
Yeah,
just go straight to the source.
Yeah. Waste time or whatever.
I'm very loosey goosey. If you text me or call me, like I'm never gonna get upset. If you have my number, it's for a reason. You have it because I gave it to you. You know. Yep. Or someone I trust gave it to you. Anyways, my number is. I'm kidding.
For any advice that you may need, his number is.
Imagine I just rattled off Lee's number from memory.
I don't
you
think
would make so many people
number.
happy.
Yeah.
I think I memorized 2 numbers in the last 20 years. You don't have to memorize a number.
I still don't remember Emma's.
I don't know my husband's number either.
That's what we have phones for.
There's a 9 and a 5 in there somewhere.
I remember my parents' house number and like my neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that the Emma's and everything that you do. I love that Danielle's always and everything. I recently finally got my husband to start showing his face and things. Slowly pulling him to the dark side.
Starting to think he wasn't real.
I know. Well, that's so funny because like it does feel like I had like some mystery husband because he wasn't in anything. And I'm like, what's the big deal of just putting your face out there? I'm like, get involved, and he likes it. Like Workbench Con was his first experience meeting everybody. And like I had forewarned him, like, please don't be angry if I just start chatting with everybody and walk away. I'm like, I don't mean to. It just might happen.
Yeah, it just happens.
Yeah. I kind of had a feeling.
And that's the thing, like, especially with Workbench Con and Maker Camp too. It's just a bunch of awkward, like, shut-ins that, had trouble connecting with people outside. So they started connecting with people online. And then like, here we are 5-10 years later, we're all meeting in person and we're still like awkward, but like we all know each other because of the internet. Cause that's really what it is. Like you meet some of these like big accounts and like, they're not that outgoing. They're not whatever, but like you love them all the same. We're all just like, cause we know each other. We're all friends, at least most of us.
Some of us are better on camera than we are in person too. I noticed too. Like some people, It is funny though when you meet that, because like you can see like they're outgoing on camera, but maybe not as a person. And I commend those people to come out and they're pushing themselves to be more outgoing. Like I saw some of that at Workbench Con, and that, to me, I thought that was great. I'm like, that's somebody who's pushing themselves to grow, So I think
there's a lot of very quiet people in a community. I mean, even like Tamar from 3x3 Customs is a very shy person. But like she seems super outgoing in her videos. Like you wouldn't think it, but she's a little shy. Yeah. Another one is, oh my God, I met Ashley Harwood.
Yeah, did you?
She's like, first of all, the most genuinely nice person ever. Quiet as a mouse. But in her videos, like, I mean, she's quiet in her videos, but she seems like so much more confident.
She's teaching though. Yeah. Well,
when she's teaching, when she's in her element, definitely like she's in her element. But I was like, wow, you're so reserved. And like you're kind of bigger than most of these accounts put together. So
yeah,
interesting.
You get to be somebody else when the camera's on.
Yeah, and it's usually another good version of ourselves.
Exactly, and enhanced, heightened.
Yeah, in certain cases, very rare cases, people turn into different people.
Yeah,
like I haven't really had a bad experience with anyone, but I've definitely met some people and I was like, oh, you're different. Like not bad, but like you're different.
Yeah.
That's the way I remember you.
I'm pretty much the same exact person as I am right here. Yeah.
I think the three of us are fairly like our baseline is the same.
Yeah. I'm actually just starting to show who I am on the internet, and I don't know if people can handle it. We'll see.
Well, because for a while it was just your art.
It was.
That was your
me.
Account was your art. It wasn't really you. But I always say like online, the social media part of it, you're the product.
Yeah.
You're making the stuff, you're behind it or whatever. Like you showing it off is way better than, now granted, not to see anyone that just posts their finished products or whatever, but like you guys are all beautiful. Show your faces.
No, it's true. Even like my painting videos, they used to like wow people, but then I just got so used to seeing it. Like it's still like, oh wow, that's cool, but like they stop performing too. It's interesting how like it was working for you and then, oh no, you have to pivot. Like Instagram makes you stretch and push yourself, because if you're just doing the same thing over and over again, you're not going to go anywhere. I mean, some people do, but there's
TikTok's
a plateau.
definitely causing that.
Yeah.
TikTok is making people pivot real hard and rethink how they're doing things, because Instagram, it went, from like photos to like a lot of like finished video, like very polished, whatever. And then people are still not showing themselves a lot. First time I was really like made aware of it is when we had Sarah Listy on our podcast, and I like looked at her page, like prepping beforehand, like stalking, just like you guys did with me. And every single photo or video, she's front and center.
I actually heard that. Like, she does it on purpose.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, you know what? It doesn't take anything away from anything she's doing. It's also not done, and I don't mean to offend anyone, but it's not done in like I'm a sexy woodworker type of way or whatever, which there's a whole bunch
look
of drama
at me
about
use
that
this miter saw.
Yeah, yes. But like, no, it's like, it's her being genuinely like, she's also one of just the nicest, coolest people out there. And I was like, you're just doing it really well. It's so subtly like you're in all the photos, you're doing all the projects. It's you is the brand. And, it's like the people that use their name as their as their
I think
account
Joni.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually just had this conversation with Paul Jackman. He changed his photo to his face. I was like, I thought that was a really good conscious move for you. And he's like, yeah, people are recommending it. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm like, no, I think this is brilliant because like you are the product.
Right.
You don't make a thing. You make things, but like it's not about that. It's
I don't know
you.
if people even care about his logo anymore at this point because it's him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone knows. He's a household name amongst all of us. You know, that's why like you have to make a brand for yourself. We all know it. Like you have to have some kind of logo or recognizable thing. But then at the end of the day, everyone needs to recognize your face.
Yeah.
They don't need to, but they should. You know, everyone's awesome in their own right. And I don't care how you look. Just show your face, make some friends.
There are camera shy folks. I get that. I get it.
I used to be one of them.
I used to be one of them.
And you
and now he
definitely
posts music
encouraged me.
videos.
Yeah. Hey, I couldn't do that in front of people.
I mean, look at what you're doing now.
Yeah.
You're doing full-blown videos.
Yeah.
You dancing around and being silly, not caring at all. And that's the best.
If you had told me a couple years ago I'd be doing that, no way. You know?
But it's working for you and it's fun and the community likes it. It's like become a thing, you know? Plus it's helping you grow. Who cares? At the end of the day, if the formula works.
Put a smile on people's faces.
Yep.
I always get worried with the fine line when it comes to me because I want to I have a whole Instagram that I'm starting that is a little bit more perverted because I want to express that, but I know I can't do it on my page. But it's going to be so much fun. Like Lee's already dubbed over one of my videos. I put it on TikTok because again, you can be who you want to be on TikTok.
That's the thing. I think my caption at the top of TikTok still says like, this is where all the fun stuff goes. Cause I was for a while I still do. I put stories and I make them TikToks. I put them up there because that's what stories on Instagram is where I'm silly. And now TikTok has stories and I just have no time for that. But I feel like that's in like 6 months it's going to be like, oh, well, I should have started back then. It's so important now. Like,
I bet you're right, but I won't do it either right now because of the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I should push myself. That's my goal for the week. But like, I don't have time for it.
I don't have time to do Instagram stories. Alone TikTok.
That is my jam.
I love doing Instagram stories too.
I know, me too. It's so like, because it's an easy way for me to share my day and have a fun time and do quick one-liners and involve Emma and show off the cat now. But you know, it's like Instagram stories. I wish they yielded more growth and they got shared more places on Instagram because that I think is the TikTok that it could have been. Because this might just be me, but the TikTok style of voiceover over you doing work, a lot of people tried it a couple of months ago. Like 6 months ago or a year ago, people were trying to do the voiceover or whatever. And it was a lot of cringe. I'm not trying to be mean, but like, it just didn't work on Instagram. It was weird. Whereas TikTok, that's what you expect. So you're in a different mindset.
I think it's working now though. I've seen it happen a lot more naturally now.
Because it's more like, I think people are just used to doing it better.
Yeah.
But it was people doing regular Instagram videos that they were doing and voicing them over. And maybe it wasn't done as well. I don't know. I was just like, I tried it. I saw some people do it and I was like, this is weird. It's not the place for that, but okay.
You must spend quite a while on TikTok. Yeah. You must be for your pleasure. You're on TikTok scrolling, right? You're not on Instagram as much.
Doom scrolling on TikTok.
Yeah. I see.
But like I don't know about you guys. My TikTok is like, all it is other Etsy shop owners, motivational speakers, for some reason a lot of like investing and like homeowners stuff or like flipping homes and whatnot, or investing in homes, rental property type stuff, and basically just like a lot of business related stuff, whether it's Etsy, small shops, Shopify, owning small brick and mortars and like side hustles. And then everyone else I follow, like all the makers I follow.
Yeah.
So, which is like not a whole ton, but all the people that I love, you know? So it definitely gives you what you want to see. And I don't go there and like see silly stuff now. Because again, I don't follow just like friends and family. It really gives you what you like. You know, it's a lot of cats too. A lot of cats.
I don't play on TikTok at all. I rarely open up the app, but I'm just working. I'm working all the time. Like when I'm up, I'm working. So there's not much leisure in my life at the moment, but I'm okay with that. Like I truly am at the moment until I can boot the day job. That's still
So
the goal.
is
Boot
that still
it.
in the works? Is that still slowly happening?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I just did a not refinance. I'm sorry, a home equity line of credit to pay off some debt. So that's all set, so that I can not have to worry about that, because you need to have 2 years in a job before you can get those things. So like the things that I had to get done before I could quit are slowly getting into place. I'm like moving
Awesome.
one step at a time. I've got 2 other sources of income coming in right now. So like I have that coming in. I'm working my way towards making a brand new product line. So it's like I keep inching my way closer to it, because my day job doesn't give me any satisfaction besides it being very flexible. That's the only benefit that it gives me. Otherwise, I'm literally miserable making ads for companies that don't have anything to do with. I don't care about pizza and fried chicken. Like I care about makers and trying to motivate people and support those who are trying to do big things. Like that's the cool part about working at like Workbench Con and Haven, is I get to promote other people now and get their voice out there where other people might not have shown it, like, the way that I can present them. So it's a cool twist. I'm
See, that's
excited.
awesome. I'm super excited for you to go full time. Oh, full time. There's that term again. But
No, but it's
to
switching
work for
careers.
yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's a better way to put it.
Yeah.
Work for yourself and just be, just have all those extra hours in a day to then sit at the end of the day and go, where do those hours go? Because you fill them. We're like goldfish. We fill the space we have.
They do, yeah.
But then it's all for you. It's like not work at that point. It's just stuff you're doing. It's completely different.
It's things that I'm passionate about that I want to do.
Yes.
Yes.
Or
you can hear it when you
have
talk
to
about
do,
it. You can tell how excited you are about it.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. And it's stuff that even the stuff that you don't want to do, you're doing it because it's going to help you.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So like at the end of that pain in the butt thing, you're ahead.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, oh, the company made more money and I slept less this week. Like that's not it.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
You are actually ahead.
Right. Yep. So that's the goal.
So Lee, are you sorry?
Oh no, go ahead.
Jump in, but like Lee, are you even like thinking about or considering like ever taking Regal Street as like a brand and just making it your own business, or you just love your job so much that you want to stay on?
I could never leave. I mean, I have so much invested in like my retirement and the benefits that I get from work. Danielle would never let me leave.
But it's a good job that you enjoy though, right? Like,
yeah, I love my job.
There's no reason
going
to
to
leave
work
those situations. Yeah.
Great people.
I'm in that situation right now.
I'm in a great
spot. Exactly. Why would you leave?
The company I work for is awesome. But I worry that if I was doing this stuff full time, I would like it less. I wouldn't, it would become more stressful. And now it's a hobby. It's fun. I enjoy it. But if it ever became like something I had to do, I had to get something done in a certain amount of time, I worry that I would lose interest in it.
And what's important about the whole distinction of like, and I love that you love your job. I love my job too. And it took me a while to try to like define it to myself and to others. But what helped me was going to Workbench Con and getting rid of the mindset of going full time or quitting my job and thinking of replacing incomes or reducing your expenses or whatever it might be. It's not about like, oh, well, I make $100,000 at my job. I can't quit unless this makes me $100,000. I'm like, well, if you're not commuting, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. You're working for yourself and you're sustaining. You can maybe live on 70 or whatever. Or maybe, at the end of the year, you're just bringing in $50,000 of profit, but like you expense a ton because you're doing this thing that's basically a business. And one thing that I really took away from almost every talk I went to or every person I talked to at Workbench Con is that don't just chase the brand deal because those are temporary things. Those are quick one-offs. What you want is those long-term revenue streams. whether it's, oh, I have some apparel coming in here. I have a 3D printing thing here. I have affiliate stuff coming here from 4 different sources. And yeah, it's 100 here, 300 here, $5 here. But at the end of that month, that's $1,000, you know, whatever. So like all these revenue streams adding up, and maybe you're doing side gigs, and maybe you build a table in a month. And before you know it, you're bringing in 7-10K a month, and, you know, your partner can retire, or not retire, but like work with you. Now suddenly they're part of working for you or with you. And it's not like, you know, they have to replace their income, because like everything's taken care of. The incomes are being covered. And like, you have to like redefine like what your priorities really are, because so many of us are stuck in like the benefits, or like, oh, I have to replace this amount of money or whatever. But like, you don't need to. If you're at home and you can handle your finances, and you can eat, you know, meat at the end of the week, as I always say, like, I can still afford to buy meat if you eat that. You know, that's all, it's about. Yeah. Or, you know, drink that beer or whatever. If you can afford the luxuries in your life and have a good time, you're going to have just a better time overall in life. And you're not having to work for someone, not having to stress out about it. And especially if you are with someone, whether it's a partner, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, that really shares the passions or is passionate about your passion.
Right.
Like Emma could care less about woodworking or 3D printing. She's passionate about my passions, like the fact that I'm excited about it. And she wants to be in on that and involved in that, and us try to grow our businesses in tandem. Her, you know, her beauty consulting business, my manufacturing businesses have nothing to do with each other. We're constantly helping each other out. And I think that's what a lot of people have to think about when they're thinking about going full-time, or you don't have to be a full-time content creator. Content creation is like a part of it. So that's the end of my little like,
but
your job rant.
That's what I'm transitioning. That's the thing. And my hands are everywhere. I have affiliates here, and I'm over there, you know, I'm diversified. Do you want to, I know our interview time is kind of all over because it's 9:00, but would you like to have fun and maybe interview Lee with me for 5-10 minutes? And
absolutely.
Harass him.
I live for this. No, and I have all night.
He was
free.
not prepared for this, by the way.
I'm not prepared.
Good. That's
so
the best.
I thought it would be a lot of fun to
surprise.
do a little bit of a switch. So Peter, I'll let you go first. What would you like to know about Lee that you don't know?
I already started grilling him about, you know, his life and quitting his job and becoming a famous rap star. I know he's just doing this till the rap career kicks off. That's his main thing. But
or acting, I can see that happening as well.
Yeah. Now, so you know, I know you and Danielle pretty well, and I know like she's got a job, you've got a job, but she's been kind of thinking about doing more because she does amazing crafts. You do amazing builds as well. But like, I feel like she's getting more and more invested in like the making part of that business and a lot of the behind the scenes. I've had many conversations with her about that as well. Like, where do you see you guys being in like, you know, not even like 6 months, whatever, but like think like long-term, like, would you want Regal Street to become a brand? Like, obviously you don't have to quit your job for it to become a major thing. You could do your day job and still have this wonderful thing that's grown kind of out of control and pays for all the fun stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of have found it pays. I've found myself kind of transitioning a little bit into doing more like larger scale projects lately, like versus a bunch of small cutting boards and, you know, all the small cribbage boards, hat racks. I still like doing the hat racks because 90% of those are for people in the community, and I get to, you know, see them enjoy it, and you know.
Than mine.
I say we just put ours out. We got 4 of them from him.
So I get to see them like out in the wild all the time, you know. So that's fun. But I really enjoy building these tables. Like, and I mean, I have no room to be building these tables. I should be just focusing on smaller stuff, but I'm having a lot of fun doing them. And as far as Danielle, I mean, she always has to have something she's focusing on. Like, whether it's, you know, when we first moved to town, she was part of the homecoming committee and they welcomed new people into
oh my
the
god
town.
I could totally see that. Yeah.
And then she got on the LuLaRoe train for a little while. She was involved in like that, consumed her life for a little bit, and now she's just starting to let the whole maker
she's getting creative there.
She's letting that creative come out, you know, and she's she's getting into the painting and the laser, and we just did a camping sign for somebody with the CNC and the laser and the paint, like so it's combining everything into one. So she can't do a lot of that stuff without me, and I can't do a lot of the stuff without her. So now we have to work together, and I think that's going to open up a whole set of doors that we didn't even think we would be into, you know. So
They might just be Regal Street.
yeah.
What are you gonna do when you move?
It's Regal Street for life.
Attaboy. That's what I'm talking about.
We're having fun though.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
I think you guys are a great example of, be good or be as good as onto others as you would want them to be to you. I said that very poorly, but you and Danielle are very like, you're so giving, so supportive. So people are just willing to throw themselves at you to help you out. And like, you guys are one of those couples that like people just want to see succeed. People want to see you blow up. People want to see you do well. And I think like you can reach out, like you're already at that point where you can do a story and ask for help. That's something, or a question, or I need to design this file, or I don't know how to do it, whatever. And you will have like people lining up. I think that's
That's what's great about the community. Like,
yeah, but
I mean,
you're the community. Like you guys literally speak to what the community is.
Having people coming together with those as well recently.
Oh, that's so much fun. I can't wait to do another one of those.
But just look how many people were ready and willing to join you, even if we didn't know the song you picked.
We don't know the song.
It was terrible. Terrible
like a Cher
choice.
song? I don't know what it was.
There's some Billy Joel, I think maybe it was.
Joel?
I don't know. Joel? What? He said out the list. I was like, oh God. Oh, all right.
But that's what made the blooper reel. That's what made the best part, you know.
I told Patsy already from Dobbs that she won the commentary.
The funny thing with Patsy is, I guess Patsy does like a music trivia night with her husband. They go out and the first question of that night after doing the video was like, they play a second of the song. And it was the song. It was Still Rock and Roll to Me. And she like jumped up out of her chair. I know what it is. She tells me every time I see her.
That's hilarious.
Oh, it's so funny.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
What made you do the first video?
So the first video was a TikTok. It was like it wasn't Blue Man Group. It was one of those guys who plays the tubes, like the songs with like PVC pipes.
I think it is Blue Man Group. I think that's one of them.
It is similar. It was not the Blue Man Group. I know for a fact. But and there was a bunch of tubes set up at work. And I was like, we were cleaning up, getting ready to wrap it up for, on a Friday. And I was like, hey, record me real quick to my apprentice. And I did it and posted it, and it blew up. And then next Friday, he's like, what's the video today? And it just kind of went from there.
That's awesome. So your apprentice encouraged it too.
Oh,
like that. So I saw he started guest starring in it and stuff too.
Yeah. Oh, he's soft. He loves it.
You need a buddy sometime. You just need a body double. Someone with you. And
he'll push me to do stuff I won't, because he knows I won't do anything in front of people. And he's like, just come out here. Nobody cares. Like, everybody knows what's going on. They know we're wearing Hawaiian shirts and we're walking around with a pipe shaped like a guitar. Like, they know what we're doing. Like, relax.
How long did it take you to make that guitar?
Oh, I knocked that out in about a minute. No problem.
Really?
You should see this man with a pipe bender. Oh my God.
There's like 4 or 5 of them all over the job.
Oh, really?
Wow.
They're stashed because I don't know, the job's so big, I don't know where we're gonna be. So you gotta be prepared.
It's so funny.
How many people work with you? Do you have like a big team?
For our company, we probably have 25, 30 people on that site. But the whole site is about 300 guys on site between all the trades.
Yeah, I was just curious who saw him doing the moves. That's all.
I'm waiting to like be scrolling through TikTok one day, and it'll be like the Instagrammers in a wild.
Yeah,
but like your assistant just like moving around with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you out. Yeah, you're working at an airport. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm at Logan Airport in Boston, building a new terminal.
Oh, a whole new terminal. Nice.
Job security right there, because that's usually a 10 to 15 year project.
This one's about 3.
Oh,
So,
Right.
yeah.
That's what they said about LaGuardia.
I said that's
Yeah.
what's projected.
They're like still
Yeah.
wrapping it up, I think.
So if it's not on time, we know who to yell at. He was
Yeah.
busy making a video.
Yeah.
mean,
it
the
was at
first-
lunchtime. It was
The
lunchtime.
first
I know
quote
you
is
do.
just a suggestion.
Mm.
Yeah, they can't touch you. It's lunchtime. That's it.
It's lunchtime. It's what you
My
do.
That's your. No, I really enjoy all the content and the videos. They're great because it's also seeing, like, I know you fairly well, and seeing you come out of your shell so much in these videos is really awesome. Just to see you like be so outgoing.
Because I am a pretty shy person. Like, and when I'm alone or with one or two people and there's a camera, you can do whatever you want. You can edit it. You can, have fun with it. And if you don't, it's just fun.
Well, plus you're in your
But-
element. It's where you're not
Yeah.
shy. Are you in charge there or
To a
one
point.
of to a point?
One
Yeah,
of.
yeah. One of,
Yeah.
okay. But you have a little bit of power. You feel in
Little
your
bit.
comfort zone,
Yeah.
Your happy place is a good place to do that. That's cool.
You tell your princess what to do, right? I mean, you're in charge.
Yeah.
You're in charge. That's what I mean. I was like, you're kind of in charge a little there.
Now, Lee, I know you guys have been looking for a place. Is there any leads on that?
We found a couple candidates and we made offers that fell through, but there's slim pickings on the market. Usually every Wednesday or Thursday they'll pop up. And Danielle wants to stay in the area we are because Steven, my son's schooling is all set up and he's all settled in. She doesn't want to remove him from that. She's worked very hard to get him where he is. And but that being said, we don't need to move. If something comes along, great, the market will treat us well in our current place. So it only makes sense financially to do it now.
Yeah.
If we can, upgrade the size of our house and the shop, more importantly.
I was gonna ask what was the big move, like reason for the big move.
Oh,
is
yeah,
like, the
definitely.
shop.
Yeah.
Even
So-
keeps getting bigger every year.
Yeah.
Need
Need
more
a big
space.
garage.
Yeah.
So are you looking for a place with a shop or with a garage that's
Either
bigger?
a shop or a 2-car minimum, at least a 2-car
Nice.
garage. But we're being patient. It's frustrating. You know how it is. I mean, you just went through it. So it's a battle. But
Over a year of looking, that was fun.
yeah, I mean, we're only a few months into really looking,
Mhm.
but
It took me almost 2 years when I bought this house because I was looking for a very low price range of like
yeah, it's tough.
150 and that's it or under. So yeah, it took
It's-
a long time.
Yeah,
I got a foreclosure though for 149 on the land with
Very nice.
water.
there you go.
I did
the-
it. It just took
And
a
Well,
long
you're on the
time.
water?
I have
insane right
I have
now.
an acre out to a pond, so I get to watch
That's
nature all
awesome.
day. Yeah,
That's
Oh,
awesome.
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
yeah, yep. It took 2 years to find it, but I got it.
Hey, it'll pay off. We were in a bit of a rush. Like when we actually started looking, we started looking in like January.
Yeah.
We finally found it in March after like seeing like dozens of houses in 3 months. It was crazy.
Mhm. Oh, I
But Lee, you're
can't.
gonna
Yeah.
find something,
But-
man.
You guys were patient and you found the perfect house. That place is awesome.
We love it. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
nature here too, and it's
Do
like,
you?
no neighbors behind us, so it's just nature.
Yeah, that
And-
neighborhood. I mean, everything about it.
Yeah, Lee, when Lee and Danielle were coming over, we like live surrounded by cornfields. So when they're coming
Okay.
out, you literally turn into a cornfield, and it's like, where are we?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know New Jersey produced corn.
yeah. But then you like turn into like a regular neighborhood, and you're
Yeah.
like, what?
Okay, that's trippy. I would definitely feel like,
Yeah.
this is where I die. This is where I die.
This
This is where I die,
die.
I hope you guys find a great place. And the reason I was asking about that, if you want a garage or a separate shop, is because I know some people are like, no, it has to be separate. Like, don't want it attached to the house.
I
want a
would
garage.
rather it be separate, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm a garage guy. I love walking out there in
I
my
say
slippers.
I would be
Well, like-
great if it was attached, but as long as it was 2-car, like I'm stuck with a 1-car right now, and it's tough.
I mean, maybe if it was big enough to separate, because like I have a garage. I'm in my garage right now, and there's things I do in my garage that I don't do in the shop. Like this is kind of like the clean area almost, where we have the laser and I finish in here, and we have the CNC in here. It makes a little bit of dust, but out there I can, you know how a shop
nuts.
gets. Yeah. And I don't want to drag it into the house because I started in here before I built that shop, and the dust that would get tracked in and the dust that just finds its way into every nook and cranny, what drives her nuts because she's a clean freak,
I can relate. Our old
Ever-
place, the
the same way.
garage and our bedroom were about 6 feet apart. So when
Oh.
I would walk out of the garage, I would walk past our bedroom door because we were on the first floor with the garage, same level. And so we had dust everywhere. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
see, it's nice to be in quick in and out, but you need a little bit of separation from like a living space. Yeah.
Now we have the laundry room. It's like an airlock. It's nice to clean up in there.
And you have to keep it clean because you can't get the laundry dirty, like it's like
Yeah.
you just clean that, That's convenient.
Dude, I'm so stoked. The second you buy that shop, buy that
it'd be
house,
great.
shop with the house attached. Yeah. But the second you have that new shop, I'm coming over. We're setting that thing up. I'm helping you out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Awesome.
so stoked.
Can't wait.
People ask me why I forced this laser to come down here in the basement. It's the same reason, Lee, that you were just saying. If it was in the shop with everything else, it would just get destroyed. Plus
Yeah,
the temperatures.
and
it's
you
not
know what
temperature
else it
controlled.
is? It's a horizontal surface.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you know how much crap would get stacked on top of that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a glass top. I'd end
So
up throwing something over there and it would shatter and I'd break it, or
Yeah. Yep. Nope. I was like, this has to
No.
get down here.
Yeah.
I feel attacked because I have a piece of MDF perfectly cut to fit over the glass.
See what I
So
mean?
you?
And I can put stuff on top. 100%.
Exactly.
I do that.
Any
yeah.
horizontal surface. I find myself putting a piece of wood on top of that sometimes, when I with the
Finishing
painting
and stuff.
triangles and put finishing stuff on there, let it dry. But there's no dust in here, so I can finish in here a little bit.
That's
Yeah.
kind of nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is nice. I know. I took this whole room apart and I went to my husband the other day. I go, oh shit, this was my staining room. I was like, I don't want to stain anything in here now. And I'm like, I gotta think of another spot. I'm like, it's too pretty in here now.
Yeah.
Well, unless you consider it like the stinky room where like
Yeah.
you laser stuff, because you always have some residue smell.
Yeah.
The staining, everything
Yeah.
finishing, that's a smelly room. You put a
Yeah.
HEPA filter in or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna have to be
Yeah.
enhanced. Yeah.
If we're doing anything, we open the garage door and I open the back door. We get a nice
Right.
cross breeze going. Because
Oh, nice. You have a back door as well?
Yeah, it goes out to our screened-in porch.
Oh, that's awesome.
So for a while, I was spraying the cornhole boards and stuff out on the porch, and I totally just poly everywhere.
I was gonna say you coated everything.
Oh,
with it, didn't you?
everything.
Yeah.
The cushions on the couch. Oh, I got
Mm.
chewed out for that one big time.
See, I
had
get
to buy
called weird
everything.
for this, but I cannot spray or like spray paint or poly or whatever over my floors in the shop. I worked way too damn hard to put
Oh,
those
yeah.
epoxy floors in.
Oh, you.
I am
okay,
not
yeah.
ruining them. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with those floors. Like it was one of the best things I did. I am not ruining
Yeah,
these things.
I don't blame you at all.
I kind of
see
love that.
people,
I
like,
just have
drip
cement on mine.
glue.
Yeah.
A brand new sealed driveway would have spray paint marks on it before the new floor would.
I just go my grass. It gets cut every week. I don't care. Just
there you go.
spray paint on the grass. Who
Yeah.
cares?
I do all my finishing on a stool my dad let me borrow. I feel so bad. I just throw a piece of wood on it and then I put the piece on there and I just rotate it and I just spray it towards the garage door. And I'm like, I don't fucking care if the garage door gets a little on it because it's just
Yeah.
clear spray. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's my sacrifice because I just have no room to work. I have to build out here. Like that's the next step. And like I've come to face it over the years, either because like this house is going to be paid off in 9 years and I have a beautiful pond to look at. So
That's
it's really
awesome.
hard.
Yeah.
Dude, I refinanced to a 15-year loan when we had the kids. And like when they hit 15, I know the house is paid off. It's like a really nice thing. It's like,
Oh,
That's
nice.
yeah, and I'm like, I'm going to be able to have that breath for a moment, like I can feel it coming.
Oh, we can't wait. We're ready.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the reasons we were doing all this because like we originally like Petree's workshop was kind of like an outlet for me because like we were on a super tight budget. We're trying to get
Yeah.
out of severe debt. Like,
Yep, same here. yeah.
college, cars, credit cards, all that stuff. It was like over $100,000. And
Mm-hmm.
like we finally paid everything off this January. And it was literally like, I both don't feel anything, but also I don't feel anything.
Yeah.
There's no weight.
Yeah.
So like we just can't wait for the house. And I know some people are like, no, like that's stupid. Why would you pay off your house early? Like, I don't care. I just don't like owing someone.
Oh no, if you
You
can
know?
get your house paid off early, why would you not? Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't. Like,
That's a whole different conversation. There's
Yeah,
people that
yeah,
are like,
yeah,
I can make more percentage with that money or whatever. I'm like, no, but it's a mindset.
yeah,
I own this. All I do is just pay my rent to the state, the taxes.
right,
you
right,
know?
exactly.
And you have your own place. I mean, having your own house is just, it's amazing for being able to be a maker and content creator and everything. Cause like you could just do what you want. You could be silly in your yard and no one can tell you anything. Or you can spray paint your grass. Who cares? It's so great.
Exactly.
Also, I do love to spray paint on the grass if it's going to be something like that. Yeah, yeah.
I have a palette from when my lev rack came that I haven't gotten rid of. It has so many layers of paint on it. So I just spray over that. I just put it on a palette, spray there, and there's rocks underneath it because I guess they had the shed moved in a different spot at one point. So I just rotate the rocks. So they're all multicolored.
Yeah, yeah. That's exciting. So, all right, we'll go back to you for 1 second, Peter. What is your goal space that you're going to have for all these machines coming? Because I wanted to talk about this. You've got 9 machines that you're going to have. Like, what's your setup going to be like as we're talking about setups? Like, what is it? Where are you storing all these?
So Lee saw where they live. It's my print shop. It's down in a basement. And actually, since Lee's been here, it's evolved. There's a full industrial rack on the wall, on one wall. And eventually there'll be another one probably. There's like a mini one. And all of them are going to be on there. They're going to be on that one wall, just
you have all the
pumping
space
stuff
kind of
out.
like ready. Okay.
I have the space laid out. It's a fairly small room. I want to say the room is about like 12 by 10 maybe. So it's not massive, but that is our shipping area. Emma does a lot of shipping for her Mary Kay business. So I do a lot of shipping for mine. We do all our shipping in that one spot, but it keeps the rest of the house organized.
Yeah.
Our living room at our old place was shipping and receiving, 3D print shop, recording studios, and 2 offices, plural, because we're all both in the same space during pandemic and everything. And it was our living room too. So boxes everywhere. It was just a hot mess while we were then also packing to move. So
wow, I feel a relief for you. Just
Yeah,
from
so,
hearing
like-
that. I'm like,
And
wow.
keep in mind how organized Pete has to be.
Right.
So that must have drove him nuts.
It was driving me insane. It really was. And I'm now in a mindset of like, if I haven't used this thing, if I genuinely can't use it, I'll throw it out. Cables, supplies, things like that I can use in the future, I keep, but I organize. But like random tchotchkes and whatever, like I toss it. I don't need it. My parents were there's a lot of stuff here. When they moved here, they sold their house, they moved here and they moved back to Poland now.
Yeah.
We had a lot of stuff in this house and I was losing it. And also this room was a bedroom. So I lost my office. I was in a print shop. So the printers would be running and I'd be working my day job and I'm on the phone like, yeah. No, you want to restart? I said, restart. Like looking at the printers, they're all loud and stuff.
They're like, where's this guy working? They have him in the machine room. Oh my God.
Yeah, basically. So everything's going to go in the print shop, which is nice. Everything's kind of condensed into that space. We have thought about expanding that basement part because the whole footprint of the house is a basement as well.
Oh, nice.
So I could pop out that room. It was originally an office for the previous owner. So like there's some stuff down there. I have my super corporate cubicle desk from my office because we got new desks. So the cubicle is in my basement.
Oh my God, really?
Just the one like L shape, like corner. But it's like enough I have all the supplies, I get stuff prepped there, and then I move it over to the shipping area. So it's all going to go down there. And, the added benefit of all that is too, like when we do our taxes, I'm writing off that basement space as well as the shop, as well as 2 offices. So like it kind of benefits us to do that now, have the extra space.
Yeah.
And like you have you might have an office, but you'll also have like a painting room or your finishing room or whatever. That's all parts of the house that are being utilized for your hobby or business or whatever. And if you have the space, use it, and then this room will be nice and chill. It'll just be my office, my safe space. I will have 1 printer here. It'll be a mini and it'll only be for prototyping. All the other monsters are going to be downstairs for pumping out product.
Kind of controls you too. It keeps you from being distracted like that all day.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a visual person. And if it's out of sight, out of mind. So it's actually good. Sometimes I forget things, but sometimes it's good because then if I don't have the printers next to me, I'm not distracted. I'll go down there when I'm ready. Same thing with my shop. At the old place, the shop was right off the bedroom, off of my office / living room at the old place. So like I was doing laps all day and was exhausted. Here, I'm a lot more chill and it lets me focus on things. So that's very good.
I tucked away my office. So like I'm at my fun desk right here. And then on the other side of this wall is my day job office. So it's in the same room, but it has been separated because at first I was sharing my fun desk and my work desk all in the same thing. And I had nowhere to put anything. I couldn't even put like a
That's the
notepad
worst.
down. Like I'm like, all right, my painting desk has to go back to being my, as I call, fun desk, but it's my other work desk, like sadly, until I can buy a new one where I can get a lift on this to adjust, because I do love having my standing desk. But this, I had to separate it. Same reasons. Like it's too tempting to want to just click on the Mac for a minute and get some work done, like it feels good to be separated.
All of us are the same. Like we can't sit still.
Yeah.
We like working, we like being productive.
Mhm.
And like we when we rest hard. At least I know I do, and I know Lee does too. Yeah. Like when we rest, we will just chill and commit to chilling and like do nothing or go camping or whatever. But like when there's loosey-goosey time, it's getting filled, whether we want to or not. And sometimes that, that means that like I can't sleep. I'm packing. Last night I was packing orders till 2 a.m.
Yeah, I saw your text so late. Like I saw this morning. Oh no, I don't hear him at night. I have my phone on silent at all times. But I saw this morning when I woke up, I was like, oh, he was up last night. And then like you said, good, like happy Monday on your post. Like I'm like,
I've gotten up for work and Pete's
still
hasn't gone to bed yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. We would message on IG and he's on a train for work and I'm like wrapping up my day.
Yeah,
but that's
You're
the
out
thing.
of your mind.
See, it was the thing, like being at the old place, we shared the house. My folks were upstairs, we were downstairs. So that was the time I had to be alone. And now that I have all day to be alone just with Emma, like my time is shifting back. Because when the family moved here and my brother-in-law was staying with us for a little bit because of the storm that ruined his apartment, I had no space and no time for myself. So now I'm slowly shifting back. It's like my bedtime's getting earlier and earlier. Then the stoop ruins it every week. And then it resets. Because, man, and you know what? I love the stoop. That's one of the community things. I think I need to hop back on Clubhouse. I heard you guys mention it too.
Yeah. I still go on. I just need that
still a thing.
That chat. It's not like there's a lot of people that don't go on anymore, but like sometimes you get that group back and you're like, oh, that's nice. Cause like I just want to chill and talk. Some people want to talk about woodworking and stuff. And I'm like, I know we're makers. I'm like, but I just actually just want to sit here and chit chat for a bit while I'm working.
The stoop is so nice. Yeah. Just BS.
Yeah. I'm always working like when that's happening.
Yeah. But you're always like painting and stuff. I see.
Or like
you'll point your camera for a sec.
Yeah.
What you're working on and go back.
Yep. Cause that's my free time. Like when the kids go to bed from 8 to 10 o'clock, I try to get stuff done. Limited pocket of time, but it works. Yeah. It's now 7. It's 7 to 10 now.
Next time you guys do a Clubhouse, if there's enough of the regulars, the old school crew,
give you a little text.
Yeah, shoot me a text or just do the little tap invite. I think ping me. If not, text me. Like, hey, you gotta get in here. Man, we used to spend like days on there. Weeks. Yeah. But it was good. That's how a lot of us met and grew. We were almost forced into, it was FOMO, like fear of missing out. Yeah. So everyone was trying to be on there as much as possible. Oh my God,
we were on there so much. Like now I go on for a little bit, but it was great.
We liked each other that much.
The rooms were open 24/7. There was always somebody in there.
Yeah. It was good motivation too. That's what we needed. It was the stoop, but all day, and basically us screaming at each other to do better or ask the right questions or reach out to a brand or whatever.
Yeah, teaching each other. Like I credit a lot of like where I am right now because of that. Because of that early coaching. Like it just has got me. Like I did a lot of listening to podcasts and things like that to educate myself, but that room took it off to a whole nother level. Like
just the one-on-one too, in a way. We talked at each other and it wasn't like broad advice. It was like, well, what are you doing? Okay, well, here's what I do and here's what you can apply. Or like, have you tried this? Or like, this is how I do it. It was direct advice from peer to peer, and no one in there had follower numbers. Well, people cared. Did, but nobody cared.
There was big accounts and small accounts. Everybody was mixed in. and like the larger accounts
It
who had the
leveled the playing
experience
field.
shared. Yeah,
It did.
They shared
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
I remember going in there and like Ben from Counter Rosa Creations would be like, "Oh, Pete's here. Like, we got like big time, whatever." Cause like at the time I was still like in 20s. And I was like, I'm guys, like, no, this is not a thing. Like, this is not a thing. A lot of the people that were in there that were in the thousands are now in the tens of thousands.
Oh yeah.
You know, like look at Dave through 3D DIY Dave. He wasn't in there that often, but like he's like flew past me in a month because his videos are blowing up. You know, Lee's killing it. You're killing it. Like everyone's growing now. And like these numbers don't matter. They never did.
Yeah.
It's not like someone knew more because they had more followers. They just had more followers. And they might have more experience with how to deal with the big number of stress with brands or whatever. But like at the end of the day, we're all in this together. We're all about the same level. We're all just people. Might as well help each other out because that will come back to help you. It will.
For sure.
I mean, I convinced a complete stranger I've never met in my life to stay at my house for a weekend with his wife that I also never met. And now we're best friends.
I love it.
You know, you never know.
You don't. Well, thank you for coming on, guys. I had a great time
for
chatting
having
with you.
us.
Thanks for inviting me.
I'm super humbled to be on. Like,
what?
Yes,
super
no,
Mr. 100 and something podcast. We didn't even talk about your podcast.
It's fine. Another Woodshop podcast. Check us out. Basically, 3 guys giggling and making dirty jokes about wood for an hour and a half. No, because it's not about that. I'm super humbled to hop on your. It doesn't matter what the number is. Like you're creating content. You're creating a podcast. Like that's work. That's big work. You know, Lee's making these videos that literally make people's weeks. Fridays. Like that's the
I
time
look forward to them.
And he sends them to people. He literally like I work from home. I forget Fridays exist.
Yeah.
Like I forget about Fridays. And I get that message from him like, that's Friday. Like, cool. I should plan out my Saturday.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. No, when I get his text, I'm always like, oh, let's see what he did today. Yeah.
You know, we all just we have this community. We're all just part of it, and it's amazing. And like I said, it doesn't matter what numbers you are, just like spread the love, help everyone out that you can. And then like without you even knowing when you need help, you're gonna get so much of it.
And that was my so for the show intro, I did put that on there as like, if you don't feel like you're part of a community yet, it's because you haven't talked to people yet. Start making comments. Like if something makes you laugh, tell that person, oh wow, that video made me laugh. So funny. Like just start saying things like that. And that's how you start growing like a community.
Respond to stories.
Yeah. We didn't just fall into it. It takes work. Like you have to put it out there to get it back, you know?
You want to make an impact on somebody's day? Send a voice memo in an IG message. Send your voice. That'll make their day. A lot of people will be like, whoa.
Tiff, you do that a lot.
Yeah, I primarily do that.
Send me a message. And I'm like, for me, it's honestly convenience. I just don't have time to type.
It's so much easier. Yes.
But people feel like that's such a better connection to just like talk, like hear somebody's voice. Like, wow, they took a second to like record their voice.
Or even a video.
Or a video.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just do that. Reach out to people, talk to people. And if you're shy, reach out to someone you're comfortable to. Or comfortable with, see if they're part of a group or a community. Like I'm part of multiple IG groups, and I rarely go in. I'll go in there sometimes just like catch up on stuff, but there's a lot going on. But it's just nice to be part of that group because people see your name pop up and they'll interact with you.
Yeah. All right, I'm tired. So with that, we shall end it.
Sorry, I could ramble forever.
I can't hang until 4 a.m. like some people. But
those people.
I appreciate you guys coming back on, and then eventually I probably will do like group hangs at the end, maybe like every like quarter or something, and invite anybody who's been on the show that last quarter.
Awesome.
So that'd be a fun hangout. So I'm really trying to mix it up because like, with Behind the Maker, we had a structure and we went for it, but like I did that for 15 months. Now I really want to like play around, and every episode is going to be different if I want it to be. It's nice having that freedom.
It's yours. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
I loved your guest interviewer or guest host. That's really nice.
Yeah,
like
the
that.
mystery guest host. Some people know, because some people I know couldn't handle a surprise. like it might be too much, it might throw them off. But like, if they can handle it, then yeah, I'm putting it in.
All right, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed getting to know Peter. Stick around for the after show if you're a Patreon. There is a 15-minute Patreon special with myself, Lee, as we're stalking Peter, and then Peter joins us at the end. So if you want more, head on over to the Patreon link and check that out. A few things that I have coming out right now. I just dropped episode 2 with Sadie from the Awesome Orange on the Carver Conversations podcast that I'm doing for Saburrtooth. So if you love Sadie like I do, go check that out. It is on Saburrtooth's YouTube as well as on Spotify, and it'll soon be on Apple, but it's taking its sweet time. So it's coming, and I apologize for those who only listen on Apple, but YouTube is available if you don't have Spotify. So go check that out, and thank you to the Patreons. A special shout out to Matthew Gerard from the Wooden Mustache for being a high supporter, and I really appreciate that. If you want to support the show, it is a range from $5 to $20, and it's just to help me keep doing this, pay for the software and all that fun. So if you want to do that, head on over to patreon.com/makerconversations. There's a link in the bio as well. And if you are curious about power carving, check out Sadie's conversation. We also talk about everything else that she has going on, and it was a lot of fun. So check that out and have a great day.